Welcome everybody to What's the 411? This is the show that keeps you updated on today's and tomorrow's current events. So let's check out what's going on right now. Welcome everybody to What's the 411? And we have some news today. It looks like there's going to be, or it already is, a Black-Jewish alliance. And so let's dive a little deeper into what's going on here, all right? And we'll talk about it. Let's do it. So 170 entertainment leaders to launch new Black-Jewish entertainment alliance. So I'm wondering if that is Black people and then what you see, the Caucasian Jew, or does it mean actual Jewish people that are Black? All right. I think it's the Caucasian Jewish that they're talking about. All right. And so let's take a look. Let's find out what's going on here. All right. So let's see. All right. So this week, more than 170 Black and Jewish leaders from the entertainment industry released a unity statement. All right. I'm going to get these words clear here. They released a unity statement. I don't know what a unity statement is, just something written down. All right. So a unity statement to launch, just a written statement saying, hey, we're going to launch the Black-Jewish Entertainment Alliance, a joint initiative by Black and Jewish entertainment industry professionals devoted to countering racism and anti-Semitism in the entertainment community. All right, so this is kind of interesting how it's worded. And of course, red flags come up, yellow flags come up, because we all know there has been a history of Black and Jewish people. And there was always a thing where, people will say, or you hear people, even Jewish people might even tell you and say, well, yeah, Black people and Jewish people were together and they stood together, but but when it came to finances, when it came to economics, that's when they backed out of everything. Then we also know that there were Jewish slave owners. There were Jewish slave owners that owned Black people. All right. So this is real, on the surface, on the very top surface, it seems like, oh wow, this is cool. They're getting together, they're gonna form this thing. But when you start looking into the wording and stuff like that, then one of the questions that come up now is who's gonna be in charge, who's gonna be the main person or persons in charge, who's the people they're gonna put out the face so the general public sees. And then of course, whatever the general public sees, that's normally the image that people kind of see and they go, oh, okay, this is a Black thing, or the Black people going to run this thing. But then you don't know who's handling stuff in the background, in the back end. So that's where it gets real tricky, and you have to keep your eyes open just in case game is going on. All right. So let's look a little bit more. In the face of institutional racism, rising anti-Semitism, it's like they want to throw that in there with the racism, and societal turmoil, the members of the alliance feel it's critical. The members feel it's critical to stand together and support one another. That's all right. Well, let me finish the sentence, which starts with the release of the unity statement found below. Let me see here if there is any statements here. Let me just scroll down. I don't see anything. And maybe there's some highlighted stuff here. I mean, that's real. It's real, suspect I don't even feel comfortable, just looking at this, because when you know a little history about what's been going on, and then even now, all right, even now, it makes you wonder, like, what's really going on in the back behind, the back closed doors, right? So the Black and Jewish communities who have a long history of supporting and working together, that's until you put economics into the play, then they don't want to work with you. And that's been the situation in the past. Then, like I said, you can't just put a blind eye to the fact that a lot of Jewish people were also slave owners as well, as we all know, in the secret relationship between Black and Jews, right? The Black and Jewish communities who have a long history of supporting and working together are so much stronger when we stand together in the fight against hate, said Aaron Bay Shook, co-chairman and CEO of Warner Records. Now, he's the CEO of Warner Records. I say this, well, let me go on. Let me read it. This alliance will elevate voices in the entertainment community that can help the public to better understand the causes, manifestations, and effects of racism. They keep putting and anti-Semitism. They putting racism, but they don't put anti-Semitism. They always want to throw their cause in there. And I really don't recall hearing nothing within the last 10 years, if you want to just make it that short. Nobody's really been anti-Semite. Then it was broken down to what really is an anti-Semite. This seems like this. It seems to me like this is like a smoke screen being put up for something else, or to throw people off, so people don't go on and pursue real issues of racism. It just seems like a smoke screen to me, and they're just gathering in celebrities to give it that face and to make people to put people at ease, because people will look up to the celebrities and stuff like that. This seems like something doesn't still ain't hitting right, for real. All right. So this alliance will elevate voices in the entertainment community that can help the public to better understand causes, manifestations, and effects of racism and anti-Semitism, ensuring that our industry is doing its part to be a voice for hope, unity, and healing in our country. And now, being that this is an entertainment industry, I guess, entertainment community, maybe I'm kind of, not that I'm 100% on that Tyler Perry kick, but being that he has his own thing, maybe this is a thing to try to grab folks away from him if he starts to blow up. This might take a lot of business from the Hollywood entertainment community. You just never know what kind of games are being played. And then it'll be sad that, they'll put some black faces in here. I'm looking at the names, it's like already suspect. Billy Porter is suspect. And as cool that Tiffany Haddish might seem, it's still some smoke following her above her head and some question marks following her. It's kind of like, I wonder, she being used too. And is she just like, I'm just going with money? Just don't ever know what her intentions are and what's really going on with that. But let me see here. Among those who signed this unity statement, I guess they're talking about, are Tiffany Haddish, Sherry Lansing, Herbie Hancock, Phil Rosenthal, Diane Warren, Jason Alexander, 24K Golden, Gene Simmons, Billy Porter, and Antoine Fuqua. Yeah. While many organizations combat anti-Semitism and racism individually, the alliance creates a unified voice against both evils. The alliance will highlight the historical bonds of both communities, host programming to highlight their common fight against hate, and facilitate collaborative events to build solidarity between the Black and Jewish communities. My thing is, why now? Why the timing now? It seems like after that situation with Nick Cannon, as a matter of fact, hold on here. Let me see something here. Okay, his name is not in there. But it seems like after that particular situation went down when he had Professor Griff on there, seemed like that was the thing that started having balls turned, wheels turning and stuff like that. And along with other incidents and people speaking out in regards to that Nick Cannon situation, it seemed like, yeah, that's when they decided they're going to kind of try to intervene and do something. Again, I see nothing regarding economics in there. You know, they're going to combat racism and they want to interject that anti-Semitism. But I don't think a lot of people is even being anti-Semite. They're just keeping it real, keeping it a buck, doing their research and bringing out facts. And I guess to make sure you hide those facts, hey, let's just do this. And then, you know, that might put a little block or smoke screen on a lot of things. You know, it's just kind of, I don't know. All right. So let me see here. Film and art have always been about giving those unjustly attacked and marginalized a voice, as two communities that have long been targeted simply for who they are. The Black and Jewish communities are stronger when we stand together. Again, there was some history regarding, like I said, there were some Jews that owned slaves, owned Black slaves. And there was some type of, at some point, some type of Jewish and Black coalition to some degree. But then when it came to mentioning money and economics and finances, then the Jewish people seemed like they wanted to kind of break off and didn't want to be bothered anymore when the money got involved. All right. And right here in this thing, I don't hear nothing about money either. So as two communities, okay, I read that part. Stated director and producer. Let's read that again. As two communities that have long been targeted simply for who they are, the Black and Jewish communities are stronger when we stand together. Stated director and producer Antoine Fuqua, Training Day and Equalizer movies. In the present climate of increased difficulties faced by both groups, it is important to take a moment to celebrate the special relationship, or the secret relationship, I'm just throwing that in there, between members of the Black and Jewish community in the entertainment industry, said Ben Silverman, chairman and CEO of Propagate Content. The ongoing nature of systemic racism, the frightening rise of anti-Semitism, and hate crimes have brought us to yet another period of crisis. We formed this alliance to facilitate conversations and coordinate actions between Black and Jewish entertainment leaders on this issue. All right. So now I'm gonna pull up another article here in a second. Again, it's saying the entertainment industry, right? And we all know, or some of us know, how the entertainment industry has been. And like I said, not that I'm not really feeling Tyler Perry all that much. I mean, it's cool that he has his studios. So I mean, that's cool to see a Black man. Just in that sense, not hating on him totally, but just some of the content he's put out, I wasn't cool with. The movies and stuff seemed like a lot of people feel the same way. It seemed like a lot of male bashing in his movies, or that type of vibe. And I'm wondering if this alliance thing is really to try to neutralize his work as far as having a studio, because if a lot of people start going and dealing with him, and if Tyler Perry doesn't fool with the Hollywood scene, which is run by Jews for the most part, them trying to get this alliance together is that. And I'm just kind of thinking in terms of looking in all directions. Is that what they're trying to do but using the front of, yeah, we're going to get the blacks and the Jewish together in entertainment. We're going to fight racism. That's like the front comment, but on the back end, is Tyler Perry going to blow up because he's going to get all these black actors together, and a lot of shows and things are going to be done on his studio grounds as opposed to the Hollywood studio grounds? And could that be what's going on? All right, I'm just putting that out there as my own like critical thinking, critical observation. Like I said, it don't feel 100%. There's something that feels a little suspect about the whole thing, being, knowing a little history on the relationship between blacks and Jews, right? Okay, so let's check and look at this article and just see if there's anything to add or if it's just the same. Again, 170 celebrities sign launch. They put the different wording here. The other one said it was a unity statement. It wasn't like something was going to be in stone. They just signed the statement that they were going to get this started. So you always got to be careful or attentive to what the wording is saying. So this has, the other one didn't mention Nick Cannon, but this one does. Tiffany Haddish, Nick Cannon, Mayim Bialik, joint organization designed to support both groups in the struggle against hatred and bigotry. And of course, there's Tiffany Haddish. She's been put out there, the face. And again, like I said, if this continues to go through, who's the face they're going to keep putting? Who's going to people that you're going to hear and see talk about it the most? Is it going to be more black folks, or is it going to be some Jewish people, or the Jewish people going to stay in the background and all the black folks going to be up front doing all the talking? And that's what I'm saying. You just got to be real careful with this stuff. Just don't seem like it's on the up and up and up. All right. So let me see. More than 170 industry leaders, entertainment industry leaders, make that clear, entertainment, have signed a unity statement marking the launch of the Black Jewish Entertainment Alliance, designed to foster dialogue and mutual understanding. Mutual understanding of between what and who? Between blacks and Jews. They make sure they got a mutual understanding, or the people in the public at large. I'm asking all these questions and trying to cover all angles as much as possible. The high profile signees, that's what I was getting ready to say, include Tiffany Haddish, who is black and Jewish. Imagine that. Mayim Bialik, glad that thing disappeared. NFL player Zach Banner, who has emerged as a leading pro-athlete voice against anti-Semitism. Terry Crews, oh boy, here we go with him again. That's suspect. Terry Crews, Herbie Hancock, Sharon Osbourne, and Nick Cannon, who apologized after making anti-Semitic statements. And that is very suspect in itself. Last year on a podcast, and I did mention that. That's very suspect. He shouldn't have to have apologized, and no one presented any proof of anything that he did that. In the spirit of Martin Luther King Jr., Rabbi Abraham Heschel, and the many blacks and Jews who stood together in the fight for civil rights. And that's another thing as well. A lot of people actually didn't like Martin Luther King when they was fighting with him and walking with him. They pretended like they was down for the cause. There was a lot of people who hated on him. And then now everybody want to say they did this and they did that. They walk with him. Just like people hated Malcolm X behind the scenes when they was with him or around him. A lot of people didn't, they hated on Martin Luther King as well. We come together to support each other in the struggle against hatred and bigotry, the group's unity statement reads. The organization will be held, the organization will hold programming geared to its goals of dialogue and understanding, as well as in-person trips such as pilgrimages to destinations that are historically and or culturally significant to each community. Yeah, it just seems it's suspect. Something ain't right about it. Like I said, it's not hitting right. It's like it's not some honesty is missing out of this. The alliance comes in the wake of a year that saw a spate of anti-Semitic controversies involving several black industry figures, from the rappers Wiley and Jay Electronica to NFL star Deshaun Jackson. See what I'm saying? And they leave out Professor Griff. They don't even mention his name. And a global protest movement for Black justice in the wake of the death of George Floyd at the hands of a white police officer. Multiple Black celebrities, including former NBA greats Charles Barkley, yeah, he's whack, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, repudiated anti-Semitism in the Black community after the incidents last year. Let me see this here. All right. Yeah, so there you have that. Again, like I said, it seems real suspect. Um, it's just one of those things that you just gotta watch and see who's out there in the forefront, see what type of communications they say and talk about. Um, yeah, it's not one of those things that you just jump on board and you down with it, because it all seems suspect. It really does. And it's not like nothing to trying to hate, not like trying to be like, oh, F them and F this and F that. It's just when you've been paying attention to things and observing stuff for a long time, and you read information and you try to break it down and you start asking questions and connecting dots, this just seems like it's just something else behind something else. They're using the front of that. And then even in the wording of the article, the second article, they mentioning just one part of it and pointing it towards blacks, because what Deshaun, that football player, what he mentioned, um, Wiley, Jay Electronica, Deshaun Jackson, it just seems like they're trying to still try to make people, how can I put it put it in this sense? I want to use the word bow down in a sense, like, you're gonna respect this Jewish thing, and y'all gonna respect this anti-Semitism thing. This seems like they're just using the black folks to push that type of narrative. That's what it seemed like to me. But it's one of those things at the same time that you just go ahead and watch, study folks. I think I've told people that before. Just watch people, watch who's out in the forefront and what they start talking about and saying, and then that'll key you into what's really going on, who they see, who they show and who they don't show, what they say and what they didn't say. Just like in these articles, what's been said in these articles and what's not been said. Nothing about economic empowerment, as I mentioned before, when there was some type of a coalition with blacks and Jews back in the, I don't know if it was the 60s or not, but at some point there was some type of so-called coalition. But as soon as finances and monies got mentioned, then the Jewish people was like, we'll see y'all later. We can't part with the money with y'all. We can't share that. We can share all these other issues that don't involve money, and y'all can stay in the poverty-stricken lifestyle. But when it comes to money, nah. So it's a suspect to me, man. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Matter of fact, let me put, you guys see it on the screen, so you'll be able to, I've had on the bottom of the screen the ticker, the actual link, so you can jot it down and look up the articles yourself, and then it might push you to find some other material. And that way you can, research it and consider things on your own. This is just what I see. And that's what it is, man. So I appreciate y'all guys for checking out What's the 411. I hope this has been an enlightening episode to you. Open your eyes about some things with my commentary on how I feel about it, as well as the articles itself, where you guys can look it up yourselves and make a decision, determination. Like I said, it's one of those things that I know what I feel, and I'm not trying to go by feelings, but I'm trying to go by the information. But I keep using the word feelings, but I'm going by the information that I'm reading, and going by what I've seen and observed, what I've read and studied back then in the past, and connecting dots together, and then you kind of conform an analysis of what could be going on or what's about to happen or whatever, so on and so forth. All right. So I suggest that's how you look at things. Just don't go by what I say, unless you start seeing me have a great track record, then you can trust what I'm saying, then that's cool. All right. I don't mind that. But again, I put it out there so you can make your own decision. I see what it is, and either I'm going to be right or I'm going to be wrong. All right. So my thing is what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep my eyes and ears open to this launching thing and see how it progresses. And I'm going to see whose faces they're going to put up front and what's the message that they're going to put out there. Because it's going to tell you what really is, what they was really about, and it ain't going to be able to hide it. So anyway, I appreciate y'all checking out the show. As always, please support the show. The link should be in the description. And this is What's the 411, and we out of here. Peace.
Welcome everybody to What's the 411. This is the show that keeps you updated on today's and tomorrow's current events. So let's check out what's going on right now.